Thank you so much for joining us on a brand new episode of the Legends series brought to you by the Association of Indian Football Coaches. And it's not just that we're, of course, honoring today someone whose individual brilliance on the field, off the field, has given so much to Indian football. It's also an apt day that we've got this person joining us today, because today is when East Bengal club, or should I say an institution in Indian football, has turned 100 years old. And so I think it's perfect that we've got the...
They completed today 100 years.
Yes, sir. They've completed 100 years. 1st of August 1920, when was that club was established. And it is just keeping in mind the current climate of Indian football, where clubs are opening and closing within the space of 5 years. Just the fact that you've got a club, an institution going on for 100 years, you have to give it so much love and respect. And I think it's only apt that we've got one of their most famous coaches, and of course, one of their most famous players, who's played for both Mohun Bagan and East Bengal. He's played for the Indian team, a much feared striker during his playing days, part of that famous 1970 Asian Games squad. Also, someone who was at the helm of affairs when East Bengal had one of their most finest periods in the 2000s, 2002 to 2004 as coach, when we won 2 national football leagues, won the ASEAN Cup abroad, and of course the Durand Cup and IFA Shield. It is my pleasure to welcome to this episode today the one and only Mr. Subhash Bhowmick. Sir, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Arjun. How are you?
Perfectly fine, sir. And it's just the fact that, I think we should start by giving respect to the institution, because I mean no disrespect to you, the individual, but I think the Subhash Bhowmick in this world would have been nowhere had there not been an East Bengal or a Mohun Bagan. I think it's only apt that we have to give our respect to these people who have run this club for so long.
Undoubtedly. To me, these two clubs, they are part of two religions, East Bengalian and Mohun Baganian. So without them, this club doesn't exist. Even in this pandemic situation, Corona, when I went to the club, I saw people on the street, but at least they covered their face, they are maintaining distance. So it's a great day for East Bengal club, no doubt. And I feel privileged and honored that I was associated with this club for more than 51 years as a player and as a manager. So it's a great day for the club.
So as a manager, can I start by that 2002 to 2005 period? When you guys won everything. Now, generally from a coach's point of view, when you go to a new club, you assess the players. Did you know there and then that you have a very special bunch with you?
Look, coach, managing a team, Arjun, to me is a different perspective. When you decide that I'm going to take this team, then you have to chalk out a blueprint that this is my target. You must make your goal, and accordingly you choose your players. Like when I took East Bengal, in between 2001 and 2, when East Bengal lost 4 matches consecutively, and they, as usual, India's culture of changing coaches, very few coaches, managers were lucky, like Arman, Sukhbinder, Bimal Ghosh, who could stay for quite a long period of time. But other managers did not get. So 2001-2, when East Bengal lost 4 matches, they appointed me as a manager. And that time, they were in a relegation zone. So I took the team out of relegation zone. We went, and I think 4th or 5th, we finished. So that point of time, club told me to prepare for the next season. So 2002-03, I made a bunch of senior players, kept like Deepak Mandal. I took Venkatesh from Bangalore. Then I recruited Alvito, a raw boy, was afraid to come from Goa, but club could manage him. Then I had Renedy. No, Renedy was not there. He also left. Then I got a boy from Himachal, Arun Malhotra.
What a player, sir. Defender.
So I got him. So then I recruited Mike Okoro, seeing him 15 minutes in Durand Cup from those days Ambedkar Stadium. a match was used to go on, and second match players used to warm up from the
Yes.
pillar. From the pillar, you could see a glimpse of the match. I saw a guy, very lanky boy with tremendous with ball speed. He was beating the Monmagan defenders. So I picked him up. Then I saw a small video of Douglas D'Silva. So I recruited him. So I built up the team. And that year, I was very lucky to be a part of a team which won 5 tournaments out of 5.
Yeah.
So that was a very, very, very satisfying for me. Sorry, Arjun.
No worries, sir. No worries, sir. No worries, sir.
In a hurry, I forgot to let me switch off my
No worries, sir. So while you do that, I'll just tell all the people who, of course, have tuned in on Facebook.
No, get off the phone.
Okay.
Because in a hurry, I just forgot to. Let me switch off my phone.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Other day, I always used to make it.
I don't know if you remember, sir, when I was working at Z Sports,
I
you had come
know.
to play Durand. You were staying in that area, and I had come where the balcony was there, Daryaganj area. I had come to do an interview with you at the time.
And I met you also. I don't know whether you still remember it. Once you came to Goa, when I was looking after the Sargaon team.
Yes, sir.
So
yes,
you
sir.
came to Goa. You
Yes,
met
sir.
me in Vasco Stadium.
Yes, sir.
Tilak Maidan.
Yes, sir.
So those days is a good day. So now, power off. You can stop. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
So going back to so you said you've got Douglas D'Silva. So you sort of made a blueprint of your squad. But when you were, of course, recruiting these players, I'm sure before recruiting them, did you have a particular team in mind? And then, of course, you went after the players to build that puzzle.
I don't know. Look, Arjun, I don't have. I have got, of course, a B license, but after that, I did not do my A license because I did not feel like. What I learned, I'm still learning, that any manager who wants to be successful, he has to have a blueprint. He has to have something here, and he has to have 2, 3, 4 alternatives. That if I don't get him in place of this, I have to get this. So I gave that player list to the club officials. If you don't get Alvito Dicuna, then you give me this. If you don't get your known boys, Indian boys. So I always do that. I always make my blueprint. Accordingly, after seeing my players, I decide in which system I will play. Style of play has to be same, but system, like 2-3, 2-1, 2-3, even previously in 99, I introduced 3-5-2 in this country. And 2-3, 3-4, I continued with 3-4, 3-5-2. And 3-4 in ASEAN Cup, I modified it when I got Baishung, Alvito, Mike Okoro, everyone.
So you played 3 up front, sir. I mean, that is unheard of. That is unheard of, sir, from an Indian team.
I'm telling you now, another name I will come. I went to 3-6-1. Because
3-6-1.
3-6-1. I packed up my midfield. So I made my midfield work so hard that the ball always moves. So I played 3-6-1. Now next when I won the I-League under Churchill, when I took Churchill team, I made my team. I bought a stopper called Bilal. India, the best foreigner ever came in this country. And I looking at that team, I switched into 4-2-3-1 because I had Lenny. I picked up a ball called Bikramjit Singh, young boy. So, and I saw I had Beto. So I want him to a free role so that he did not to help the defense. Let him roam around. So I do believe that a manager has to modify himself according to the strength of your team. So I did it. I believe in it. Like a small example I'm giving.
Yes, sir.
It won't be out of context. Jurgen Klopp today you are seeing him in Liverpool. But I'm sure neither you nor me, we are so much interested when he was in Borussia Dortmund, where he came into limelight when he beat Bayern Munich 5-2 in German Cup.
Yes.
Final. Then Germany and Germans took notice of him. And they found he is playing a different kind of football. And that football is now famous with gegenpressing. What is gegenpressing? Is counter pressing. Now, as he came to England, he found that English football teams are always very happy if it's a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
So he kept his style of game, but changed his positional play. He started keeping in Borussia Dortmund, was playing direct football because we had Lewandowski. Here he came, he doesn't have Lewandowski. He had Fabiano, then he got Firmino. So he started keeping the ball. He never used to believe play back behind, play square. So to me, this is coaching. I hate this word coaching. I believe in managing a team.
Sir, my word is, so I've spoken to so many people who are in love with the game. I won't say people who have achieved. I think the right way to say it is in love with the game. And
sure.
that comes across in conversation with them, because as soon as they talk football, they only talk football. And the eyes light up. And even if you're talking about your peers, your contemporaries, people on the other side, you learn to appreciate the smaller things that they're doing.
You have to. Because we were born to do only this job. I believe I was born, Almighty sent me to do only this job. He has not given me any other job. So I don't when I talk about football, when I go to bed sleeping, still I dream that some of the Indian club is playing AFC final and winning the AFC championship. Because these days, AFC's rules modification has made it much easier.
Yes.
Not to play the Middle Eastern countries and all this. When I was coaching East Bengal, 2004, both the times I had to face in quarterfinal to strong Middle Eastern team like Syria and Jordan. So I believe who come to this job for the sake of loving this game, all these greats who have given an interview, I followed you, Arman, Bimal, Sukhi, Irin Savid. Out of love, we all came to this profession. Yeah. To me, it's not a profession. To me, it's something more than profession, more than passion. To me, it gives me a kick. I'm talking to you, it's giving me a kick. I'm getting oxygen out of it.
Sir, because you said it's coming in your dreams, because you brought it up, that I hope an Indian team wins at the Asian level. But honestly speaking, sir, and realistically, where we've been playing in a league where you've first started with 6 foreigners, now the dependency is still at 5 foreigners. At the Asian level, it's 3+1.
I want let them make it 3.
3.
When I won the ASEAN Cup, I had only 3 foreigners only.
Douglas Okoro, and who was the third one?
Musa.
Yeah.
And out of that, you could play 2 till semi-final. So I dropped Okoro, and he was furious with me. And you don't know his famous temper. He was like his manager, famous temper. So I had to manage him, coax him, keep him in good mood. So, because I want something under my sleeve, so that in semi-final they see one of my strongest weapon. So keeping him in, not even in the bench, on the gallery was a great challenge, and I enjoyed. So
could you give us an example, sir, of how you did it? Because Mike Okoro, now when you take his name, is one of the finest foreigners to have played in the country. So how did you manage to keep his motivation levels up by keeping him in the stands?
Sometimes I had to spend money for his beer. Sometimes I have to, in Jakarta, put some dollars in his pocket, go and buy something for your wife. Sometimes I have to mentally prepare him And man, you wait. Moments are waiting for you. Still I'm believing. So before the final, eve of the final, the Calcutta journalists were there. They came and told that Mike is complaining of injury, he won't play. I said, that's not your look out. I know the injury is here. Injury is here. But still, till semi-final, the manager did not give me chance. So he was the final. I called him to my room. I said, score a goal tomorrow. I'll go with the fat money bag, take it out. That's yours. So he scored a brilliant goal. If you have seen that goal, he scored. So you have to take greatest job. Like technically, tactically, you have to make your team, prepare your team. You have to make a system. And the biggest job is how you manage your players. 26, 28, different players, different attitude, different temperament, different, everything is different. So everyone has to be in your head. If not in your pen and paper, it won't help. It has to be here in your heart that I cannot tulunga. I cannot talk harshly to him. Always have to catch hold of him like a father does.
So of course, when you're operating at that level, and by that level I mean when you're operating for one of the two biggest clubs in India and in Kolkata, and so the expectation levels are always here. And then of course you've gone about and made a team with some of the biggest names in Indian football and some of the best foreigners to come in. And so my guess is I wasn't there, but the expectation level would have already touched even before you would have hit the field. So how do you manage that?
Before the season starts, you see, a very interesting story. I was in Goa that time for Churchill. So one evening I went with my family. You must be knowing that restaurant, Martin Corner. You must be knowing Martin Corner. I went there. I was ordered my dinner. By that time I saw Armand was entering into the restaurant with his family, with his daughter and friends. And by that time it was announced Armand has taken over East Bengal. The first time. I went and congratulated Armand. Armand, you did wonderful job in Goa. You are 5 times National League champion. But my dear friend, your test starts from today. When you are leaving. When you are leaving, now you go and you will feel what is managing a team. If you don't score within 15 minutes, everything starts. All beautiful language from Ray and Martin and our dictionaries, anything belongs, everything is coming to you. And Kolkata Madhan, and when you go to the dressing room, and those days you used to play Kolkata League in East Bengal or Monmagan ground, though you are on the vicinity of the spectators on there, they can give you a slap even. So this is, I tell you, why Armand could not be champion. A guy who made Goa in Gempo 5-time champion. A coach came, Trevor James Morgan. I liked him as a coach. And as a manager, I liked him. Twice reaching, and everyone was sure that East Bengal is going to be the national league champion. But last few matches are so exhausted, make you so exhausted. So demand from your friends, demand from your members, demand from your supporters, demand from the officials. The players got into trouble. There's only one person who can keep them out of this pressure. That's the manager. I found that Mr. Trevor James Morgan, 2 years, he could not, for last 3-4 matches, he could not handle it. This is you have to be in anywhere you coach. When I was managing Churchill, Mr. Churchill is I am telling you, I have yet to come across a man so much of football. I mean, he is a football lover, real football lover.
Hmm.
Yeah. If you talk to him half an hour, 26 minutes he will talk to you only the football, the football, the football. 4 minutes he will talk. I know the team was traveling to Hong Kong via Mumbai. We were at the airport. He was the MLA then did an MLA. We were in VIP room. All Congress people came to meet him. We were 3 hours in that VIP room. He went on talking only about football, no politics. So that man, his pressure is tremendous, but is nothing in comparison to Calcutta clubs. These two clubs are, in the media, you are under pressure. You are under scan. And today, the electronics media has come. The spectators, everyone know your phone number. At midnight, you will get call. Sir, we are going to win tomorrow's match. So that you have to overcome. I was lucky. My players helped me. They are like my children. They helped me a lot.
So, because you're part of an environment which is so unique to Indian football, my point is it's consuming. It's consuming you 24 hours, and you're a human being at the end of the day, irrespective of your laurels and whatever you've achieved on the field and what you've done as a coach. How would you let off steam? Because if you don't let off steam, you'll end up exploding. So how would you do that? How would you find the balance, sir?
Music.
Aha.
When I used to dissect my players, suppose I'm playing Mohun Bagan tomorrow, but the 24 hours is less time, but I'm dissecting that what is Mohun Bagan's those days, as much I could manage from clippings and things, the weakness and the strength, always listening to music so that it keeps me soothe me, keeps me in a, but managing a job, another example I'm giving you. Recently, I've gone through a clipping of Mr. Bielsa for 19 hours, 19 hours, he was watching a boy from Argentina. 19 hours. A manager has to do it. You have got no chance. You have to know. A manager, I think, to be a famous manager for famous clubs, demanding clubs, the managers are more under pressure than a CEO of a top company.
So, sir, can you hear me? Can you hear me properly?
I can hear you.
Just a minute.
Yes, sir. So, sir, and I know you've spoken about the pressures and how, of course, the human side of it is you bring in music. So music works for you. Music gets you calm. But are you one for a lot of detail? Because you mentioned Bielsa. So I was reading a lot of his books as well. He would go into every small part. And if he's left some small detail out, he would not be happy. And, that would continuously... Are you the kind of guy who goes into so much detail as well?
Not only Bielsa. If you look into Pep's videos, if you look into Van Crab's preparatory videos, they did not want to miss, and they are saying that you cannot, and they want 100% loyalty right from his officials, president, to the ball boy, including his, forget about his players. So, to be successful, you have to get the detail, keep the detail, make aware your players about the detailing. You have to make.
Before, of course, I get chatting with sir again. If any of you have some comments, if you have any questions, budding coaches, you want to know from a legend how he handled the pressures not only of Kolkata football, but of course of handling some of the best players and then in turn being successful with that bunch, please do post your questions to sir, and of course I'll hopefully get a decent answer and answer that will help you guys. So for someone, because you spoke about Mike Okoro and how you were helping him out at the ASEAN. You also had a certain Baichung Bhutia with you. And for someone like you who was so successful as a striker in his playing days, and not just successful with the team, he was when you were successfully, consistently scoring goals. Baichung, sir, and were there times when you would say, because I have been such a good striker, did you let that come into the analysis that you would do of seeing Baichung or handling Baichung?
No, never. Because uh, every striker, uh, compare, if you compare Didier Drogba with Suarez or Aguero, their style of game, style of play is entirely different. So you have to. Baichung, when I saw him, before he joined me, when I was coaching East Bengal 2001, 2002, he went to Buri and came back and joined Mohun. That point of time, East Bengal wanted him, but he did not join and joined East Mohun. And when I dissected him, analyzed him, I saw that if you stop process coming towards Baichung Park, he is 50% gone. Because Baichung was never a good dribbler.
Yeah.
He is not a great shooter. But if you can keep a ball 60-40, 40 for his advantage, his agility, his quickness, his desperateness will take him to score a goal. So what I used to do when Baichung used to play against me, I used to stop the crosses. No crosses for Baichung. So moment this is stopped, he used to feel frustrated.
And then, of course, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, when he came to me, 2003-4, when I decided that, in fact, Stephen Constantine gave me that idea that Subhash, you are doing so well. Why you are not participating in a foreign tournament, a tournament in somewhere? So I said, who is going to give me the chance? So he arranged through Kashmir Hashim, that be then head of marketing of ASEAN region. I will be ever grateful to Stephen Constantine for this. He through Kashmir sent the invitation letter because ASEAN group, they thought a team from India will come. India is nothing in comparison. So when I got the invitation, it came to Mr. Kulaso's office. I targeted Baichung. But East Bengal was not keen to take him because they were a little upset with Baichung because East Bengal claimed Baichung is their discovery, their player, their home Gharka. So he did not join them and went to Mohun. The president, secretary, the club officials, they were not very keen. First I had to manage it. I need him. Well, he is injured. Mohun doesn't want to keep him. I said, I don't care. I need him. So I tell you, you came to Calcutta, CCFC Club. There was a small 5-a-side tournament for Kingfisher. So I came to know from a journalist that Baichung is participating in that 5-a-side tournament. I was far away. I told my driver, immediately rush and I have to go and get him. So he was in washroom after finishing his match. I went as a member. I could go anywhere, even in the washroom. I went to washroom. I gave him the offer. He said, "Coach, I don't know why you have to make him one go. He will not give his consent to you. Oh, this, that." I said, "Look, I am playing an international tournament, and I need you. The coach, I have got some injury." I said, "Leave it to me." Because I mean that he is a leader. He is a born leader. When I am under pressure, when I won't be able to motivate my players, this is a guy who will do it for me. So ultimately he signed. I got his ACL repaired. In between this time, a small thing. So And he did wonder for me. He did wonder for the team. So Baichung to me is instinctive player, which Sunil is not.
Yeah.
I am Vijayan is an instinctive player, which Sunil is not. Sunil is a thinker. Before match, he thinks. You put him into false nine, you put him on the left side, he will deliver you the same. So this is the difference.
Given what you've achieved as a striker, and of course you've obviously worked with some of the best like Bhaichung and I am Vijayan, do you think we still, present day scenario, we have any more instinctive players left at the highest level?
Look, I blame All India Football Federation. When East Bengal could win a tournament called ASEAN Cup with only 3 foreigners, why you are bringing 5, 6 foreigners? You tell me, Arjun, the Indian boys, if they don't get chance, and for money they are running towards ISL.
Yeah.
A small example, Jobby Justin. 2018, when I was a part of his small team, from 17 when his ball invited me with for Super Cup, then they gave me. I saw this boy has tremendous potential. I made him fit under my Indian physical trainer. Made him, his mobility was improved. He did so well, and for the money, he went to ISL, and you see how many matches he played. If you stop both in ISL and I League, especially 2-3 position, especially the strikers, how strikers cannot be made, Arjun, in academy. They are born. Leg spinners cannot be made. They are born. They can be sent to excellence school, and they can be grinded in a better shape. So you cannot made a Baichung Bhutia. You cannot make a I am Vijayan. You cannot make a Sunil Chetri. You have to give enough opportunity to your homegrown boys.
So, but here's the part which is a little difficult. Now you said Jobby's name. As far as what I know, Jobby at this time was East Bengal was earning somewhere close to 6 to 8 lakh. Then comes an offer from 80K, where at 6 to 8 lakh goes up to upwards of 50 lakh.
So I say that money is making a difference. But Arjun, that we players, we have to understand whether money is the ultimate thing. I tell my boys, when you were born, you did not know. When I was born, I did not know that I am going to be a footballer. I did not know that I am going to be manager of 3 teams for whom I will win National League, I League. We started playing football out of passion, out of love. Here you have to sacrifice 1 year sitting outside on the touchline, not playing. It takes lots out of you. So I will request APN, Football Players Association, educate your players. All older generation like me, like Armand, like Sukhi, or that we can educate these players. Money, okay, so not 8 to 10, from 20 to 50 lakhs. So you have to sacrifice. You started playing the heck of popularity, heck of name. Your name is going. You are going to oblivion. People, Subhash Bhowmick today has raised the name Jobby Justin. You are saying, but many people have forgotten who is Jobby Justin. There is another guy who is who played for Mohun Bagan last year, and Kerala boys. Shube something. That boy has got tremendous potential. Suher
Where?
is his name. I know this time he won't get chance. Let him stay back. Sacrifice some money. But within 2 years, we make more money. Same money in 2 years' time. I told Salam Ranjan Singh, don't go. I beg of you, don't go. You won't get chance. Because the spine, a team spine, or any foreign coaches, they will not compromise. The stopper, the central midfield, and the striker. This is the spine of a team. And you won't get chance. Salam, don't go. He went. Now he's crying. You see, Kevin Lobo, he was going. I said, Kevin, don't go. This team needs you, East Bengal. You can be the leader, but you go to ISL, you lose your life. Now he's coming. He wants to come back. Now East Bengal has to decide whether they will take him on. So we players, I'm telling you, giving you a small example. I'm not bragging. I came to Kolkata. I was not a Kolkata boy. I'm a Mavashal boy. I came to Kolkata in '66, joined a school. I became the best school footballer of the year of Bengal. I represented Bengal school in '67. I got signed by the then president of AIFF, Mr. M. Dr. Rai, who is club called Sporting Union. I scored goals against all the big clubs. And next year, Jesse Guo, then everyone knows his name. From his Bengal, he called me to sign. And there was a striker called Shukallan Ghosh. He was playing for Khidirpur. We are good friends. So we decided that no, the time is not right for us. Let us play one more year for a small team. Together. We are separated. Now we will play in a club together. We played for a club called Rajasthan. We've made massacre against all big clubs. Next year, again big clubs came to us. Then we decided. Then we part our ways. I joined East Bengal. He joined Mumbai. Okay, that time there was no money. But Arjun, this player must be educated that money is something, but money is not everything. Your football career is much, much more important.
My point is, I'll give you another example of that boy Manveer Singh, who was at FC Goa. Now he's a central striker, but kabhi wing pe khila rahe hain, kabhi piche khila rahe hain. Beach mein he's playing 15 minutes, and now he's signed for 80K Mohan Bagan, where they already have Roy Krishna.
Kya karega? What he's going to do?
People who are advising them are also young agents trying to make money.
उसको मेरे पास भेज दो भाई, मेरे पास भेज दो, उसको दिमाग चाटना है. I have to make him understand. There is Roy Krishna and that Garcia, and they will get much more. They now FSDA, because they are now the spokesperson of Indian football. They have to decide to save Indian football. I did never get a chance. If I got a chance to talk to Madam, I'll beg of her, please give stricture to this yours, that you have to play as Indian striker. Your country's football will not grow. It will not survive. What ISL will do? What for this tournament is there? If you do not grow, nurture your own homegrown players, and as I said, the spines are all dominated by the foreigners. And to me, most of them are big, great foreigners.
Agreed, totally agree. So even up striker ki yahan pe we keep talking about strikers. Now, if you noticed over the last couple of years, our stopper backs, quality stopper backs, they've started drying up. Because
why? Aapko kyun bola? Just spine. Right from your 4th, 5th region to your 13th, 14th region, no foreign coach, they will take risk. In that straight line, they will keep here, and here. they will get their foreigners. They have got more. They depend on them. If I would have been in this position, I wouldn't have cared. I would have kept that boy. I am impressed with Asif, some boy who was playing with Sunil. When we beat Thailand 3-0 or 4-0. Give me that boy.
Good player.
Give me that boy.
Good player.
Give me that boy with that speed, with that thrust. I'll drop a foreigner. I'll give him confidence. I'll prove that he can deliver. We have to give a man. This is manager's job. I'd give you telling a small incident. Alvito Dicuna, the great Alvito Dicuna. When 2002, I signed him from Goa. You know, within a month or so, he was running away to Goa. He was crying because Goans are homesick.
Yeah.
I took him to my house. I kept him in my house with my son so that he can come over. And then, kya gul khilaya ho.
And he's never left Calcutta ever since.
Ever since. Now he's the official of East Bengal club. Why? Though this is you cannot expect, and I don't ask from Mr. Abbas or anyone else. This has to an Indian man who has got passion for Indian football, who has given to Indian football. He wants Indian football to rise again. Like I do every day dream that East Bengal is playing AFC final and I'm winning AFC final. Every day I go to bed with this dream. I'm telling you, I'm not joking. It gives me.
So, sorry, just my next question was because you said Ashik also. Now, again, he was under a foreign coach. And last season at Bengaluru, a boy who impressed at the Asian level as a striker. Sometimes he was playing full back. Sometimes he was playing as a wing half. My point is, what if, given you have led a team, what can an Indian coach give that a foreign coach will never be able to give, despite technical know-how and whatever they have?
I explained to you, Arjun, what I will feel, no one will feel. The foreigners, they will not feel. I will feel for my team, the club, the franchisee. Same time, I will feel for my country. They have got nothing to do. They said, I came here. If I can make my franchisee champion, I will get my bonus.
Yeah.
Bahar mein jao Indian football. Arjun, you give me an answer. I know you are very voracious reader of in world football. You keep track of in world football. You tell me how many countries are keeping foreign national coach?
Not too many, sir. Not too many.
Too many? I'm asking, let's forget the European country.
Underdeveloped nations are the ones who go for the foreign coach more often than not.
And now you see Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, they are not the champion. They are not Korea, China, Japan. They are also having the national coach. They are homegrown national coach. Because, Arjun, there are two very serious aspects, especially for us Indian, such a big country. The first barrier is language barrier. The pep talks you are giving, to me it was a big problem. I had to give in 3 languages, English, Hindi and some local language. You see Japan, Korea, China, they all have turned their face. Iran, Iraq, Thailand, they are appointing their homegrown coaches. Second problem, food problem. Asif will ask for sambar, rasam, idli. Baichung will, Sunil is he belongs to a different league. I know his food habits. I know he will not touch even peanut if time is not permitted.
Sunil is not having a fried egg for sure.
No way. Even I'm telling you, I can assure you, if you meet him at 12, 12:30 in a coffee shop, he will offer you anything you want, but he will not touch if it is not his time of taking anything. Because he has grown himself, he has educated himself. And this change I saw, and I was a very lucky man. First time when he came back from Portugal, I was in trouble in Churchill because both Bilal and Akram left us in between. And at that point of time, I was lucky. Sunil came from Portugal and he was free. Mr. Churchill and I decided that let's get Sunil. So Sunil came. And I was watching that this is the boy in 2009 when he left East Bengal. And this is the same boy. His attitude towards game, everything changed. So Sunil is to me a foreign player, educated foreign player, who knows how to maintain himself. Now, I believe that he, in Bangalore team, he tries to do with his Udanta and all these young players. I believe so, because Sunil is also a born leader. Forget Sunil, but other players, they don't do it. They don't. I wish I was born in this era, please.
So you would have eaten this era alive, because there are. If you were born in this era, you suppose you would have been the Subhash Bhowmick who was so successful as a player. Because I don't know if you would have got that many opportunities. That's my only point, sir.
Look, as I said, that Sunil has joined no ISL team. He joined an I-League team. He continued to be the I-League team. He never, I don't believe that other teams are not offering him more money. He stayed back there. Subhash Bhowmick would have done the same thing. Because you need, Arjun, let me tell, it will hurt little harsh. Football players we must pick up players from lower middle class or middle class family, where there is a value system is there, not from gutters, from Dharabis and all these things. One Maradona you can get, but if you look into Pele, Messi, Ronaldo, no one came from slums. They came from lower middle class family, where there is a family background. If you go through Pele's biography, he has written, I have seen poverty, I have seen hunger, but I haven't seen poverty. What is poverty? It kills your mental attitude. So we need to scout young players like Bielsa did, driving 7,000 miles around Argentina and picking up boys who came from lower middle class with talent. So it is not that easy that Cambodia, okay. No, it's not that easy.
So there's a comment that's come from you from someone you know, Mr. Gautam Ghosh. He's saying, great to hear from Subhash Da. I was an assistant coach under him at Mohammedan Sporting in 2007. Great personality. So having, of course, seen the riches of Mohun Bagan and East Bengal, and by no means am I saying Mohammedan is not on the same level, but in terms of facilities, because then, there's a time when decline started as Mohammedan.
Very, very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Though I have never played for Mohammedan, but I did coach Mohammedan Sporting. 1 year they got into relegation fight. They have got 3 matches. If they don't get 9 points, they cannot. They will be relegated. So one fine evening, Bijen Singh, got the then football secretary of Mohammedan Sporting, Mr. Kamaruddin came to my house and literally told, save us. So I took the challenge. 3 matches, I won 3. Last match was, Arjun, let me tell you, against Salgaonkar, under the managership of Sadio, in Goa, in Fatorda. I bet them 3-0 there and saved Mount Sporting's relegation. Next year, as I said, I signed few players from East Bengal. And their name, Douglas De Silva, Mai Kokoro, Devjit Ghosh, Tulunga, Suresh, Chandan Das, Rahim Nabi. But Mount Sporting Club could not fight against East Bengal pressure, and most of the players had to leave. But I wanted to go to court. The lawyer barrister who took the case, he said, in 1 day time, I'll stop East Bengal's claim that these players belong to them. But some, under table. So to me, I feel very sad because in my playing days, Mount Sporting was as big a name as East Bengal Mohun Bagan. I'm telling you, 76 when East Bengal broke the record of Mount Sporting's, 75 broke the record of winning 6 times league consecutively because Mohammedan had the record of 5 times winning. So 6, when is the Eden Gardens, you have seen Eden Gardens. As much people were in the Eden Gardens, same amount of people were waiting outside East Bengal and Mount Sporting match. The Mount Sporting Club's heritage is such big. And I believe in Delhi, Bombay, there are huge Mount Sporting supporters. I don't know why.
How different is the challenge? So, say in one side you've got an East Bengal side which is vying for the title. That is one challenge. Then you got a Mohammedan side which has 3 days or 3 matches to avoid relegation. As a coach, is your approach very different from the two then?
Absolutely. To make your that time, that was one of my greatest personal achievement. 3 matches, so all the matches has to be won, and I won 3 matches. Saved the relegation. I still remember we were staying there was a hotel called Simcoe near Fatorda Stadium. The officials of Mount Sporting came into my room. They were crying. I still, it is alive in my memory. It is some kind of kick. I cannot, what kind of kick I cannot say over a virtual. It's a different kind of kick. But championship, like ASEAN Cup champion. Arjun, that day someone challenged me in this kind of, but East Bengali and some fan clubs. No one can show me that I am in any photo frame after the ASEAN Cup has been won. The moment team has won, I left the ground within a second. I was interested. Waiting for my player to congratulate them, to thank them. That they will come ultimately. I'll congratulate them. But I was not there. Even Mr. Vijay Malia, by the time I became from Mr. Bhowmick to Subhash to him, he was looking for me. No one could see. These are, when you are champion, that's the time for your players, for your children. That's not your time. But Mount Sporting issue, it was a big, big challenge. I still believe, still remember, I told Mr. Kamaruddin in this house, in the drawing room, Mount Sporting Club will relegate over my dead.
So, my point is, when you had 3 matches, you've got 3 matches, 9 points, that means 3 wins. Did you even try changing something tactically, or was it just motivation and getting heart?
No, I had to change tactically. I just giving you a small last match. If Salgaonkar drew against us, even winning 2 matches will go down the drain. Salgaonkar will sustain. They will not relegate. First half, I was putting, there was a striker came from Togo. I forgot his name. He played for Mohun Bagan. He was there. I was using him as a striker, lone striker. Vision Singh, I was playing him from behind. Second half, no, I was using the Togon boy from behind, and I kept Vision in front. Second half, I made up my mind. I said, Savio has packed up his defense. I said, I need more speed from behind. So I took Bijan, I said, change this position. I made an arrow onto the board. I said, you go from here. When Bijan start going, you come down and hold defensive. There is a very intelligent stopper, Robert something. So we won. So these are the satisfying moments. Only tactically or pep talk cannot survive. You have to go. It goes side by side. Tactically, you have to be strong. Technically, you have to make your team strong. Your players should be so theoretically strong that they themselves can change the course of match while the game is going on. So that you have taught them the text thoroughly. And I had the privilege of having those players in my managerial time for East Bengal. Even in Mohanbagan, the first time they became I-League champion, 2013-14, I met the team. I bought Pierre Bois from France. I met their physical conditioning through Garcia. I went to Bhutan to see my team. When club gave me a CD of Sony, I said, bring him. I met the team, but unfortunately clash of ego. But to me, tolerate it's very difficult because that's why I never coached a team for 4 years, because there's a big personality clash and the officials are afraid of my personality. I've got a very strong personality. Even Mr. Churchill used to fight every day. We used to fight every day. Marcos one day told me, you have so much of affection and respect for Mr. Churchill. And Mr. Churchill has got so much of respect for you. Then why you are fighting? I said, that answer you can ask Marcos. I said, 2 wild bull has been kept in a cage free. The problem will be there.
Another one of your former players has commented, M. Suresh, former player with you at East Bengal and national team. He's saying, good to see you, sir. I had the privilege of playing under you, one of the best coaches I have played under at East Bengal.
I'm honored. I am honored that I got players like Suresh under my wings, all of them. And that is also a small incident. He was playing for Mahindra.
Left foot.
Previously, he was playing for Mohanbagan. He used to play as a left back. Yeah. I saw him playing. My football, brain said, he is not a player for side back. He is a player for ideal defense systems. He is my ideal sweeper. I told East Bengal club I need him. When 2002 I was making team. So after taking the team in between 2001-2, when I was rebuilding the team, the football secretary told me, you want this player? Mohanbagan kicked him out. You bet him 3 goals. You bet Mahindra to survive the 1-2 national league. You bet Mahindra. He was there. I said, bring him. How to use him? That's my job. That's not your job. Your job is to pay the money. Talk to him, bring him. And Muthaiya Suresh came. And you ask him when meet him. I had to control him also. He had also a lot of things I had to do quietly. Chori chipke, usko liye bhi karna padta. But what technically, what sound, what intelligent player he was. I was honored. He's giving me such honor, but I'm honored that I've worked with these guys.
That's really nice to hear, sir. Just before, of course, since the forum we are on right now, it's for coaches in Indian football. And since we've got someone like you, if you had to pinpoint that one thing that you would like to impart as knowledge to all these budding coaches, what would it be, sir?
See, this license and all these things, with due respect, why after doing my B license, I did not do it. Examiner who came to examine me, after examining, is asking me, this system we never teach in our in license, where from you learned it? There are three methods. Either you learn from hearing. We hear the word called mother, ma, mom by hearing. Then you learn by reading. And the best way of learning is watching. Every budding coach, you cannot stop by going and doing a course. I have got a stamp. You have to, every day, you have to grind yourself. What new things are coming? What is happening all over the world, even in India? A coach has done a new thing. I have to pick it up from there. I'm doing it every day. At this 72 years old, every day at 5 o'clock I get up, I work till 6 o'clock. I came back home. From 6 to 7, I listen to music, as I told them, and I watch at least 1 or 2 clippings, football technical improvement. Like this morning, I saw Pep and his assistant, how he is he's trying to implement. We have heard false 9. He is now saying false number 2.
False number 2.
Ferdinand, his midfield, he's putting him in with Stones in the central midfield. 2 defenders that he's playing. Last 3 matches he played. Why? He's preparing himself for the Champions League. Because he knows that 8th of August, if he can draw the match and get away with it, the Champions League will be under his pocket. So we have to learn. I have got no job. I know there is no question of job coming to me. I have got no license. But still, for the sake and heck of knowing this subject, whom I loved so much, I do every day. And my Bible is one book, my time, Van Craft, who changed the philosophy of world football when he came to Barcelona. And I know that. When Thursday, let me share with you, he was entering, that time it was not called La Masia, the Barcelona football youth academy. As he was entering his office, he saw a notice hanging on the left side of the door. If you are not such and such out of height, and such, way, if you don't weigh such and such, you are not welcome. He looked at it, tore it off, threw it off, called his secretary and said, write it in a big, that if you love the game, if you love the ball, we are ready to welcome you with open arms. And he changed. So this sort of people we need. This sort of teachers we need. No managers, no coaches. At this moment, we need some teachers. We need some teachers. As I'm telling you, when I was in Salgaonkar, you have seen this Francisco who came. He was looking after the under 13 team. Mr. Salgaonkar, they were under 15, under 17, under 19. He called all the coaches. And every week, one day of the week, everyone has to report to Subhash Bhowmick. He is my chief coach for the senior team. And Subhash Bhowmick is being ordered, according to your time, once a week, you will meet these training sessions. And I forgot that name. I found a teacher in Salgaonkar Academy. I forgot name. Divan Di Mello, Francis, all Kajitan D'Souza, all these players came from this under 15 team. So we need teachers. Like once upon a time in Bengal, there was teacher like this, Bagashom, Bola Chatterjee,
Mr.
Chuni Goswami, like Rohim Shah was in South. These teachers has gone. Please stop talking about courses, degrees. We need teachers. We have got A says A, B says Ba, So we need teachers of football. Don't teach. Arjun, I'm telling you, I go and sometimes chupke, hiding, go and see the so-called academies. If someone dribbles, hey, why you are dribbling so much? Leave the ball. Your father has bought you the ball. Hey, man, who will play one touch, two touch? Who has got tremendous technical ability? Let them, young kid, let them enjoy. We are not allowing them to enjoy. We are pushing them to get into the monotony of football, which the time they should enjoy the game. This is the problem. Still, I remember the Sao Paulo team came to India, played 3-4 matches. The chief coach, I was so lucky. That time I was in Mount Sporting. Mount Sporting was playing that Sao Paulo team, that amateur team in Jamshedpur. We were kept in same Jamshedpur house, as good as a 5-star hotel. So after the match, we lost 2 goals. By 2 goals, I begged of the chief coach, the old man. I said, sir, I need something to learn from you. From 8 o'clock evening till 4:30 morning, I went on asking him questions. Ultimately, he answered me. Mr. Subhash, I don't believe that such a big country with so much of population that a good footballer is not coming. You are wrong. Your country is going in a wrong way. So how? Well, you are going for quality. First, you must go for quantity. Well, in Sao Paulo, I've got 1,000 training academy boys. I said, don't kid me, sir. Well, no, 1,000. I've got 35 coaches. They don't coach. Their job is to just watch. Let them watch. Let them watch. And then say, well, then after 3 months or so, we evaluate them. How? No, this boy is useless. Nahi chalega. Isko chhod do. 30 boys we released. New 30 boys. But then he asked me, have you heard the name of Kaka? He asked me. I said, who doesn't know the name of Kaka? Well, I'm telling a story, not story, fact. After 3 months when evolution time, progress report time, all coaches came and said about this boy, nahi chalega. He is useless. I said, why? Well, he cannot express himself. I told them, hold on, because I have seen that boy. He's technically superb. I said, hold on. Give him another 3. They agreed. They cannot say anything. I'm the chief coach. I'm the boss. He was telling me, Mr. I forgot his name because one day I called him. I said, Sunny, in Portuguese. I said, Sunny, what is that? He was quiet. Then I could make it out. He's inborn introvert. I spoke to him for an hour. I said, enjoy yourself like you used to enjoy at your village where from you have been picked up. Next time, when all my coaches came and they said, salute, sir, he's a different boy. And why? Well, he's doing massacre. I said, this is our job. See the good. Your left foot is good, but your right foot is not. So you have to improve your right. Right? Improve your left. Improve it. Make it lethal, like Lionel Messi. Finish. So this, we need teacher. We need pandit. Not coaches for the young.
So, also we've heard that you're busy writing a book. What could you tell?
No, I'm planning. I'm not writing. I've got offer. I have so many. Like today, I have written in Bangla. I write in Pratidin newspaper. I wrote a piece. So I was thinking my association with East Bengal is 51, more than 51 years. Direct association, either playing or coaching. But East Bengal is not the start and end of my career. There is Mumbagan, there is India. I feel so proud that I stood on a podium where Indian flag was going up Janagana Mana was playing. So these are all things that, fortunately, till today, nothing has gone from here. So some publisher has approached me, but I'm trying to write in both the language, both English and, because if I don't share my experience, but I want to be absolutely true to my book. The things I did, and I was very dishonest as a footballer. I used to never used to maintain any discipline. PK manager used to get mad to keep me under his leash, which I'm a different when I have come down to managing. So how I have to all these great Paichung Bhutia and Alberto Dicuna in Goa, they used to tell me, sir, good night, going to room. They did not know. Next morning I used to tell them, you came back at 2 o'clock, you came at 2:30. They used to get puzzled. How often I came to know? I used to give money to the back gate doorman, not the front gate doorman. I will give 500 if you give one name. They used to give me proper name. So this is my experience. I want to share it. I want to share the dishonesty happened to Indian football, happened to club football. I want to share. So it's on the process. You have heard it right.
So Viral, of course.
Are you interested to help me?
I'll be more than happy, sir. I mean, you'll be surprised because we were talking about, so we love Indian football, and but when you look around as far as literature is concerned, and Calcutta in particular, the local dialect has a lot of literature, but people who don't understand local dialect, so in Hindi, in English, there isn't much literature available, sir. To go,
But English, no, but Arjun, English today, there is no depth of, if you want to learn, and especially if you want to learn tactical thing, technical thing, and man managing thing, there is no doubt of it. Today, in English language, there, at least I have got, I get it. For last 6 months, I was in UK. I was buying it, and I got bankrupt. I went to see even Leeds playing in Leeds. Whatever. I went to see the Man City and Liverpool to Man City's home. £350 it costed me. £350 to see my favorite coach. I went to Leeds ground. 2nd division team. It costed me £65. Arjun. It pinched, but I want to learn. So there is no doubt of literature or books on English. There are many books. Many books. Who wants to learn?
But the Indian way, how to do it the Indian way, I don't think it's there, sir. That's my point.
That will share it personally. Take my phone number, call me, because it's a different subject. Absolutely. It's a different subject. It's now I am telling you, ask your all coaches. Go to Prime. Load this Prime. There are 3 videos, let them see it every day. You'll be knowing. 6 Dreams on Xavier, on Bielsa, Take Us Home, and famous Pep's, what it calls. These days I get a little name dropping. You must be knowing Pep Guardiola's.
Yes, sir. I've seen it. It's a lovely document.
There are other 2 documents. 6 Dreams, Take Us Home.
Yeah, that is the La Liga one, sir. La Liga.
Then there's, I don't know after I came. Luckily, I loaded it in while I was in England. Pep's one document these days, Prime is not take the ball, pass the ball. A fantastic document. Brahim Sahib used to say, I heard it from Pikeda, Chunida. Brahim Sahib used to say, Mia football mein kya hai? Itna aasan game hai. Gena leo, gena deo, khali jagah mein ja. The same thing I was watching, take the ball and pass the ball and open to space. Pep Guardiola is saying in 21st century. So football is such an easy game. We make it complicated. We make it complicated.
We do. Sir, it was an absolute pleasure chatting with you, sir.
My pleasure. I'm honored.
पता ही नहीं चला. It was a great. आपने the kissas and the things you told us. I mean, how to be a coach is not just about technically sound. You have to be someone who's strong from here.
This has to have some connection. आप अगर किसी को प्यार करेगा, if you fall in love, you have to have something here, and most of the things come from here.
Yeah.
Then that love sustains. Otherwise.
Sir, thank you so much for your time, sir. It was an absolute pleasure chatting with you.
My pleasure that you guys thought that I'm fit to talk to you guys. Once again, my gratitude to you and as AIFC. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Take care.
Thank you.
Under this situation, stay safe.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
You too, sir. Thank you, sir.